We now move on once again. Germany says it rejects the escalation, warning it is hard to see how the new Gaza offensive will lead to freeing hostages or securing a ceasefire. Jordan's Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi went further, calling Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's policies a destructive project designed to keep the region in crisis. Let's listen in to what the Jordanian Foreign Minister had to say.
ثمة مشروع دماري يقوده رئيس الوزراء الإسرائيلي لإبقاء المنطقة رهينة الصراع ورهينة الأزمة، ونرى تبديات هذا المشروع في استمرار العدوان على غزة وفي تجويع الفلسطينيين وفي محاولات تهجيرهم، وهو ما نرفضه بالمطلق. ونراه أيضا في سوريا التي ندعم جميعا أمنها واستقرارها ووحدتها وسيادتها، ونراه في الاعتداءات الإسرائيلية على الأرض السورية والعبث الإسرائيلي بالشؤون الداخلية السورية، مما يدفع باتجاه المزيد من التأزيم والمزيد من الاستقرار.
This comes as Israel is escalating its military campaign in Gaza. The government has approved a plan to seize Gaza City, authorizing the call-up of 60,000 reservists and extending service for 20,000 more under occupation Operation Gideon's Chariot. We're now joined by Ahmed Fatwa, who's a spokesperson for the Fatah movement. He joins us from Ramallah in the West Bank. Thank you very much, Fatah, for joining us here on the program. Ahmed, even given this huge international condemnation from Israelis protesting throughout the streets of the country, this offensive seems to be happening with 60,000 reservists called up to start this plan, occupy Gaza City. Your response and what you think this might bring?
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Pleasure.
Of course, what Israel is doing is beyond words and is extremely dangerous. The occupation plan that was announced by the Israeli cabinet is threatening the lives of 2 million Palestinians. Just recently, they are evacuating cities in northern Gaza and the Gaza City. We are talking about nearly 1 million human beings, after being evacuated for several times by now. And as you know, they are deprived from all aspects of life, from food and water or oil or even transportation to move them from place to place. And also they used explosive robotics for the first time to demolish and obliterate entire cities. We are talking about completely erasing northern Gaza and are now in the process of erasing Gaza. So this is a war crime that is unprecedented in the modern world. The reaction by the world is in the right direction and actually need to be intensified and increased, because what's going, as said by the Jordanians, as said by the Europeans, as said by every expert in this planet, is only going to lead into an endless cycle of violence and a humanitarian catastrophe that would require decades to heal from. Israel is threatening the two-state solution and the only viable solution for any peaceful and any security in the region, which in retaliation will erupt the entire region and therefore the entire world. Recently, as you have seen, Netanyahu fanatical speech saying the Greater Israel project is his God mission on planet Earth. This blatant speech, this dogmatic speech coming from Prime Minister threatens not only Palestine, but threatens also the neighboring countries, because Greater Israel projects means the occupations of part of Syria, occupation of Jordan, occupation of Sinai Desert from Egypt, and reach until Iraq. So that is a colonial project that is scary. And right after that speech, Smotrich announced the E1 colonial settlement projects, which separate the West Bank north from the south. He stated just today that this aims to erase the Palestinian state and to put a new facts on grounds to destroy any prospects for a two-state solution. So that stands in defiance to all the efforts by the international community to find a peaceful settlement for the question of Palestine.
Ahmed, we need to... Israel have said that this plan is aimed at rooting out the Hamas strongholds, both of which are in Gaza City. How much of a hold have you heard, do you know, that Hamas still has on Gaza City, if any?
Of course, this is another Zionist propaganda nonsense. Everything is because Hamas. They destroyed all the hospitals, saying there is Hamas, while not showing any evidence of that headquarters that they claimed. Now they want to obliterate entire cities, and they say for Hamas. I haven't seen in modern history any war like this, and I think you too haven't seen any of that. You know, they have deployed 200,000 soldiers. They aim to deploy 200,000 soldiers for a Gaza Strip, which is a land of the size of 360 kilometers, to fight a militant group of no more than 20,000. And I believe after all the damage they received from the 2 years war, it's much less than that. If we compare that to the Iraq war, United States of America, while fighting a more organized regime with the higher power and military power, they deployed 150,000 soldiers on a land that is more than 500,000 kilometers square, which is more than 10 times the size of Gaza. So we are seeing here an evident extermination plan while using Hamas as a pretext, which, by the way, Hamas just recently approved and accepted the Witkoff peaceful and ceasefire proposition. But right until now, Netanyahu did not respond.
Yes.
So what we are seeing here is an extermination plan, and he said it with his own tongue that he wants to go for a greater Israel. That demands from all the world to act, and surprisingly, the United States is supporting and endorsing that act. Recently, Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the United States Congress, visited Israeli settlements and visited dogmatic, extremist settler projects who, if you heard about it, the red cows that they want to bring to Palestine to bring the Armageddon. This is the kind of madness that we are dealing with, and that requires from the entire world to pay attention, because we are dealing with not a normal occupation or colonial regime. We are talking with a fanatical regime and